Thank you very much for joining me. Yeah, this is my gift to you while I'm away, sunning myself in Thailand. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. So for the session, you'll probably need a block or a brick to sit on to elevate your hips, or a cushion. Also a blanket to place on the mat underneath your knees if you have sore knees, so give you extra padding, and also at the end for the Shavasana, where you can just get underneath the blanket and keep nice and warm. Also, which might be useful, is an eye mask or an eye pillow that you can just place over your eyes during the relaxation at the end of the class, if you like. Also a strap, which you can use anything really, a dressing gown, belt, a tie, or if you have a yoga strap, that's great too. And finally, a bolster. So you don't have to have a yoga bolster, but any sort of cushion or rolled up blanket, sleeping bag, anything that you might want to place underneath your knees during the, again, relaxation, or some of the exercises, should you wish to, again, to kind of help give you some lovely padding and alleviate any kind of lower back pain as well. So if you are ready, we're going to come to our comfortable position, lying down on the back. Feet can be on the floor with knees bent, or you can have your legs out straight. Just settling yourself into your nice comfortable position, as I said, lying on your back. We'll spend a few moments just trying to settle into this space. Allow yourself to fully arrive on the mat. And today's session is all about letting go. So with the colder months drawing in, summer's long gone, I thought I'd use this session to perhaps focus on letting go and taking a leaf out of Mother Nature by letting go of all the things that no longer serve us. So perhaps you'd want to set an intention for today's practice. If there's something that you're hanging on to, anything that's niggling you, any negative thoughts or limiting beliefs, maybe today is the day to just let it all go. And at the end of the practice, there'll be a short guided meditation, just focusing on letting go. So if you haven't already, gently closing down the eyes, noticing how you feel today, noticing any areas of tension in the body, and take a couple of nice deep breaths in through the nose, and then a long sigh out through the mouth. That's it. Let's take one more deep breath in through the nose, filling up that belly, expanding it up like a balloon, and then letting it all go. And then returning your breath back to normal. Breathing in and out nice and gently. And sometimes when we think we're relaxed, we're still holding on to a little bit of tension, so let's just focus on trying to let go a little bit more, either in the poses, during a nice long stretch, or even in our deep relaxation at the end. And let's focus a little bit more on our breath. Just let's place a hand on our belly, fingertips meeting in the middle, and focusing on taking a deep breath in, expanding the belly out, and as you do so, noticing the hands are separating out a little bit. And as you exhale, noticing the hands and the belly sinking back in and the fingertips meeting. Breathing deep into the diaphragm. And exhale. Letting it all go. Lovely. Taking a few more breaths. And let's start to warm the body up a little bit more. We begin by bending the knees, placing the soles of the feet flat on the floor. Hands down by the side of the body. Shoulders are relaxed. The feet are hip width apart. And we're going to do a little bit of movement with the hips, engaging the pelvic floor. So we're going to push the back into the floor, tilting up the pelvis, and at the same time squeezing the pelvic floor. Breathing nice and steady, keeping the breath nice and gentle. Squeezing and drawing up just a little bit more. And then slowly releasing, letting go, allow the back and the pelvis to come back to neutral. And let's do this a couple more times. So inhale, pushing the back into the floor, tilt the pelvis up, squeeze the pelvic floor. Breathing nice and steady. And then slowly releasing, lowering the hips and the pelvis back down. Relaxing, letting go. Let's do one more time. Inhale, coming up, squeeze the glutes. Pulling up that pelvic floor. Hold for a couple more breaths. Lovely. And then slowly lowering back down. Wonderful. Let's start to create a little bit of movement into our neck and our head by just moving our head gently from side to side. Gently massaging the scalp. And then coming back to stillness. Excellent. Next, we're going to take the feet nice and wide. I'm going to windscreen wiper our knees from one side to the other, nice and slowly, noticing the sensations in the body as you do so. Lovely. And then coming back to stillness, back to center. This time extend your left leg out and then draw the right knee in towards the chest, grabbing onto the outside of the shin, keeping the head and the shoulders onto the floor. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Breathing nice and steady. Lovely. And this time grabbing onto the back of the leg, extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bring that leg closer to the body. Keeping that extended leg out active, toes pointing up. Flexing the foot. Feel that stretch across the calf muscle as well as the hamstrings. And from here you can point and flex the foot, creating a bit of movement into the ankle joint. And let's draw some circles with our ankles. Just imagine our big toe is a big marker pen. You're drawing a big circle. And then let's change direction. And then coming back to stillness. Slowly lower that right leg down to the ground. Extend that leg out. Give it a shake. Give it a shimmy. And just notice how it feels compared to the left. And let's do the same on the other side. So bend the left leg. Draw that knee in towards the chest by grabbing onto the outside of the shin. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, draw that leg closer in towards the body. Keeping that extended leg active, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Lovely. And then grabbing onto the back of the thighs, extend that left leg up towards the ceiling, flexing the foot. Again, take another inhale. And as you exhale, draw that leg in towards the body. And then from here, let's point and flex our foot. creating a bit of movement into the ankle joints. Lovely. And let's draw some circles, going one way, and then the other. Lovely. And coming back to stillness, slowly lower the leg back down, extend the leg out, give it a shake, give it a shimmy. Lovely. This time bending both knees, drawing both the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, rocking a little bit from side to side. And then coming back to stillness. This time we're going to engage the core a little bit. So take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, lifting the head and the shoulders off the floor, bringing the nose towards the knees. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing nice, steady. And then slowly lowering the head and the shoulders back down. This time you can grab onto the backs of the legs, and we're going to rock backwards and forwards like a rocking horse. And we'll do this a few times until you can come up to a seated position. Lovely. So you may want to sit on your block for this one. And that just helps to elevate the hips a little bit off the floor so that you don't get any pins and needles in your feet or legs. Lovely. And let's just create a little bit of movement into our heads. So sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are back and down, looking straight ahead. And we're going to look up to the left hand corner. Let's do some half circle rolls with our head, and then roll the head back down, chin to chest, rolling up the other side, looking into the top right hand corner, and then coming all the way back down, rolling up to the other side, and coming all the way back down again, all the way up. Lovely. One more time each side. And then all the way back. Lovely. This time let's look up. So we're going to put our chin backwards and then lift the head up towards the ceiling, creating space in the back of the neck. And as we exhale, slowly lowering the head, chin towards the chest. And then coming all the way back up. Lovely. It just started raining, so I hope you can still hear me. So we're going to create a little bit of movement in the shoulders now. So let's just roll the shoulders back. We hold so much tension in our shoulders and our neck, particularly if we've been sitting at a desk. And let's roll forward. Lovely. And then coming back to stillness. Excellent. And then on the next inhale, bring the hands all the way up, palms facing each other. Keep the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And as we exhale, bringing the right hand to the left side of the body and the other hand behind, looking over the shoulder, coming all the way back up, and the right hand to the left side, and coming back up, and bringing the hands back down to the body. Lovely. So we're going to come onto all fours now, onto tabletop position. So again, this is where you might want a blanket underneath your knees. So making sure the knees are underneath the shoulders and the hands are underneath the the knees are underneath the hips and the hands are underneath the shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide. And we're going to create a few cat and cow movements. So on the inhale, let's tilt the pelvis up, lifting the chest, lifting the gaze, looking up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, rounding the shoulders, scoop the belly in, dropping the head for our hissing cat. Inhale, coming up, breathing nice and steady, lovely. Exhale, round the shoulders, scoop the belly in, chin towards the chest. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. And then coming back to center. So let's create a little bit of free movement here in the spine, just by doing whatever feels right for you, what feels good for your spine right now. Maybe you just want to wiggle from side to side, creating a bit of an S snake-like shape with your spine, starting at the base of your tail, coming all the way up to the top of the body. Maybe you want to ripple like a wave, going forwards and back. Or a figure of 8. Do whatever feels right for you today. Lovely. And then slowly coming back to stillness. This time we're going to extend the right leg out behind you, drawing that heel down towards the ground for a nice extended stretch. And then from here we're going to bend that right knee, draw that right knee in towards the body, dipping the head, arching the back, engaging the core, and then extend the leg out, flexing the foot. Bring the knee back in, rounding the shoulders. One more time, extend that leg out. And then bringing that knee back in, round the shoulders. And then dropping the knee to the floor, coming into a nice extended child's pose. So bringing the knees as wide as the mat, draw the big toes to meet in the middle. Drawing the hips backwards towards the heels, extending the arms out. Allowing your forehead to rest on the floor. Hands can be out in front, or they can be underneath your shoulders, or even alongside the body. This time placing your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself back up into your tabletop. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Extend that left leg back, drawing that left heel down towards the ground. Feel that stretch on the back of the leg. Keeping the fingers spread nice and wide like starfish, really pushing the floor away. And then we're going to bend the left knee, draw that knee in towards the chest, round the shoulders, drop the head, knee towards the nose. And then extend the left leg out, gauging the core. Breathing nice and steady. And then drawing that knee in again towards the body, round the shoulders. And then extend the leg out. Last time. Exhale, draw that leg in. And extend the leg out. And then dropping the knee to the floor. Let's come back into child's pose. Drawing the hips back down. Extending the arms out. Lowering down to the ground. And then coming up nice and slowly, draw the hands underneath the shoulders, pushing yourself back up. We're going to come into camel pose now. So I'm going to show you sideways so you can see. Coming up onto kneeling. And the thing with camel pose is there's a slight back bend. You want to make sure that you protect your back. So we're not going to do the full version. We want to place our hands either onto the small of the back, or you can bring them back up, or even just hands on hips with fingers pointing forwards. Want to squeeze the shoulder blades together, pushing the tops of the feet into the floor. Want to squeeze the glutes and push the hips forwards, and then lifting the chest up and out before coming into a back bend. And that squeezing of the glutes, pushing the hips forward, protects the lower back. Breathing nice and steady. And then to come out, lifting back up. Release the hands. Let's come back into another child's pose. Placing the hands out in front. And we're going to walk the left hand over to the right, placing the hand on top of each other for a little side stretch. And then walk that left hand back, and then walk the right hand over to sit on top. And then put the head back in between the upper arms. And slowly walking the hands back to center. Drawing the hands underneath the shoulders, pushing yourself back up, all the way up into kneeling. Lovely. So we're going to extend the left leg out to the side, coming into our gate pose. Place the left hand onto the left thigh, reaching up with the right arm, lifting up, lifting and lengthening before leaning over to the left, feeling that lovely stretch on the side of the body. And then coming all the way back, lowering the arm, bring the knee back to kneeling. And we'll do the same on the other side. Extend the right leg out to the side. Right hand onto right thigh, lifting up with the left hand, reaching up as tall as you can, and then leaning over the right. Creating space in the rib cage, allowing you to breathe more easily. Lovely. And then coming all the way back. And we're going to come into downward facing dog now. So let's coming onto all fours, making sure our fingers are spread nice and wide. We're going to tuck the toes, engage the core, slowly lift the knees up off the floor, sending the hips up towards the sky. Push the hips back, head in between the arms. Slight bend in the knee, so we're not locking the knee out. Scoop the belly in towards the back of the spine. Really send that tailbone up towards the sky. Doesn't matter if your heels don't reach the floor. Maybe you want to engage the Ujjayi breath, the sound of the ocean, or a mini Darth Vader. Breathing into the back of the throat. You can slowly walk your feet towards the hands, bending the knees as you come, coming up to your halfway lift. Fingertips can be on the floor, onto your ankles or your shins. Just make sure that your back and your spine and your neck are in one long line. Lovely. And then slowly lowering down all the way for a forward fold, allowing your hands and your arms to just hang heavy like an orangutan. Allowing all that tension to just let go in the lower back. Allow the head to hang nice and heavy. Maybe you even want to sway a little bit from side to side, holding on to alternate elbows. And then coming back to stillness. We're going to come up very slowly, so pay attention and focus to your movement. So you come up nice and slowly, inch by inch. Scoop the belly in as you come up, making sure the head is the last to come up. Lovely. And then let's just give it a shake. Excellent. So we're going to do a modified sun salutation. So let's come to the top of the mat. Feet are hip width apart, really looking at your feet, Lifting up the toes, spread the toes nice and wide before planting them back down on the ground so you feel really strong and anchored to the ground. Hands are down by the side, fingers are active, shoulders are down and back. Lifting up through the crown of the head. Nice and strong, strong as a mountain, our Tadasana. On our next inhale, bring the hands all the way up, looking up towards the thumbs if there's no pinching in the neck. And then on our next exhale, swan dive forward, hinging at the hips. Bend the knees as you do so into your forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway onto your fingertips. Breathing nice and steady. Control your breathing. Exhale, plant the hands down on the ground, bend the knees, step back with the right foot, then the left foot into your high plank position. Engage the core. Drop the knees to the floor, release the feet. And we're going to come down with control all the way down to the belly, keeping the elbows tucked all the way in. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, push the floor away, engage the pelvic floor into the floor. And then we're going to straighten the hands, coming up, send that tailbone back towards the heels, and rest for your child's pose. And we're going to come up into a downward facing dog again, so bringing the hips forward, engage the floor with your feet, tuck the toes, lift the knees up off the floor, pushing the hips up towards the sky. Bending one knee, then the next, walking your dog. And then bending the knees, look forward, step, jump or walk to the top of the mat, coming up to your halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward, allowing the crown of the head to hang nice and heavy. Pushing into the floor with your feet, bringing the hands all the way up into your chair pose, gazing up towards the thumbs, shoulders are back, engage the core. And as we exhale, coming all the way up and hands down by the sides. Lovely. So we're going to come and do a series of warrior poses now. So let's step forward with the left foot and step back with the right so that it's facing the long edge of the mat. We're going to bend the left knee so the knee is stacked on top of the ankle, and then bringing the hands up to shoulder height, gazing down the left arm. This is our warrior two position. And from here we're going to come in and do our reverse the warrior. So we're going to drop the right hand to the back leg, lifting the left arm up and over. And then we're coming into our extended side angle, so bringing the left forearm onto the thigh, palm facing upwards, reaching up with the right arm and extending over. And coming all the way back up, swiveling your back foot so it's facing about 11 o'clock. Keeping your legs nice and straight, bring your hands behind your back, grabbing onto alternate elbows or even just the forearms, coming into an intense stretch, lifting up through the torso, and as we exhale, folding forward, keeping the legs nice and straight. A little bit of a micro bend though, so not locking the knees out. Really have a sensation of feeling, bringing that one hip forward and the other one back. Notice how that feels. And then slowly coming all the way back up. Release the hands, take a giant leap forward, give the legs a bit of a shake, a bit of a shimmy. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So right foot forward, left foot back, facing the long edge of the mat. Bending the front knee, bring the hands up to shoulder height. Nice, strong, fierce warrior pose. Oh, the rain's really coming down now. And then dropping the left hand down towards the back of the leg and reaching up with the right arm and reaching over the head. Feel that stretch across the rib cage. And let's windmill the hand all the way back, dropping the right forearm onto the right leg, palm facing upwards, reaching up with your left arm and then reaching over for your extended side angle. Looking out to the side or even above. And then coming all the way back up. Swivel your back leg so it's now facing about 1 o'clock. Keep both legs straight, arms behind you, grabbing onto your alternate elbows, lifting up, lengthening, and then hinging forward, coming up halfway so you're gazing just in front of your feet. Draw that left hip forward and the right hip back. And then slowly coming all the way back up. Release the hands. Lovely. And come all the way to face the long edge of the mat. Taking a nice wide stance, coming in for a wide-legged forward fold. So we want our toes to be pointing out to the corners of the room. Hands could be down on your hips. And we're going to lift up and lengthen in the body. And as we exhale, we're hinging at the hips. Softness in the knees, so we're not locking the knees out. So if you want to come here halfway and go no further, that's absolutely fine. Or you can place your hands onto the floor or onto your shins, or you can even use a block if you want to give yourself a little bit more height. Just play about with how you feel today. Some days you'll feel more flexible than others, and that's fine. Maybe you want to create a little bit of movement, a bit of exploration by moving your hands over to the right. And then coming all the way back to the other side. And let's come all the way back to center. We're going to come up in 2 breaths. So on the first inhale, coming up halfway, place your hands onto your hips. Then on your next breath, coming up all the way to the top. And then you can walk your feet in towards the center. So the last pose we're going to do before we come to seated is a tree pose. So I thought I'd use this pose for this session because we are talking about letting go. So I'm taking a leaf out of Mother Nature's book, and we can let go of the leaves and the things that no longer serve us. So we'll start by placing all our weight into our left leg. So softness in the knee, standing up nice and tall, lifting up with the right leg, coming onto the knee, and you can bring it out to the side. Options are you can place your foot, your toes onto the floor and your heel resting on the shin, or you can place the whole foot onto the shin, or you can place the whole foot into the thigh, but never on the knee, because obviously it's quite a delicate area. So play about with how you feel today. And then placing your hands together to start with, squeezing the hands, squeezing the foot into the shin, creating that feel. Breathing nice and steady, looking at a spot in front of you that's not moving to gain more stability. Maybe you want to grow your branches. Maybe you want to wave your branches in the wind, shaking off those leaves. Lovely. And then coming back down, release the leg, give the leg a bit of a shake. And then we'll do the same on the right side. On the left side, please. Place your weight onto the right leg, lifting up with the left leg, coming out to the side, either onto the floor, the shin, or higher up onto your thigh. Hands together, or growing your branches, gazing at that spot that's not moving, breathing nice and steady. And then slowly coming down, release the leg, give it a shake, give it a shimmy. Lovely. And we're going to make our way all the way down to the floor. So we're going to come onto our belly to start with and create a little bit of a back bend. I'll do it this way so you can see. So first of all, let's come into our resting crocodile. So our arms at right angles, resting the forehead onto our hands, really pushing the pelvis into the floor. And then we're going to bring the hands out, kind of just beyond our shoulders, creating a kind of nice wide Sphinx pose. So we want to push the feet into the floor, pushing the pelvis into the floor as well. Engage and squeeze the glutes a little bit. And then slowly straightening the hands and the arms, coming up into our Sphinx pose. So you can see I'm not dumping into my back. I'm really pushing the floor away with my forearms, lifting up nice and tall. And to come out, let's place our hands underneath our shoulders, and we're going to push up, straightening the arms, coming back into child's pose, bringing the hips back towards the heels, arms out in front. And then bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pushing yourself all the way back up. coming into a seated position, where we're going to do a forward fold. So you may want to use a strap for this one, placing the strap underneath your feet, holding on to the strap nice and gently. So when we come and do our forward fold, we're leading with the chest, so we're not rounding the shoulders, we're not bringing our nose all the way down to our knees or anything crazy like that. So we're just sitting up nice and tall. Just want to feel that relief across the lower back and also at the backs of the legs. So don't want to go too far. If it starts to get a little bit uncomfortable, then just ease off a little bit more. So we're lifting up nice and tall, and as we exhale, lowering forward. See, I've got my shoulders back, my spine and my neck are in one long line. And slowly coming all the way back up. Release the strap. Excellent. So we're going to come up now with our knees bent. Do a little bit of core work on our abdomen. So this one's called boat pose. So you want to place your hands underneath your thighs, and then bringing your ankles and your knees together. Let's just start to lean backwards until your feet start to lift off the floor. Now you may want to just stay here, or you can extend and lift the lower leg further up, parallel with the floor. You may even want to release your hands. Don't forget to smile and breathe. Or maybe even you want to paddle your feet like you're on the side of a boat. And then slowly coming all the way back down, giving yourself a nice big hug. Lovely. We're going to come into a bound angle pose now. So again, this is quite good to sit on a block for this one. Bending both the knees, bringing the legs out to the side, holding on to your ankles or your feet, and we just gently bounce our knees down, releasing any tension in the hips. Lovely. And then from here we're going to come to stillness, and we're going to come into a forward fold. So you can either keep your feet as they are, or you can make them slightly longer into a more of a diamond shape. Lifting up nice and tall, we're going to fold forward, nice easy gentle forward fold. You can round the shoulders, just allow the release in the lower back. And then slowly coming all the way back up. Lovely. Releasing your knees back up to center. Extend the legs out. And you can remove the block from underneath your legs. Bit of a shake, bit of a shimmy. And the last one we're going to do, this one's called modified fish. So bringing the legs out, extended out in front of you, and place the hands down behind you with your fingers pointing forwards. And then we're going to lower down onto our forearms and our elbows. And then from here, where your elbows are, just replace them with your hands. And then we're going to push ourselves up, point our feet, pushing the chest out and up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening up the chest, keeping the head and neck in line with the spine. And then to come out of the pose, slowly lower down onto your forearms and then slowly onto your back. Draw the knees in towards the body for a counter pose, giving yourself a nice big hug. And then from here, grabbing onto the back of the thighs, rocking forwards and backwards a few times until you can come up into a seated position. So we're going to come into our relaxation now. So you may want to grab a blanket, some socks, maybe even your bolster to place underneath your knees. Maybe even your eye mask. So I'm going to read you a guided meditation about letting go. So coming into your place of comfort, again, legs straight or bent, making sure you're nice and comfortable, closing down the eyes, bring your awareness to your breath. Allow your hands to rest easily on your lap, on your belly, or by your side. Breathing easy in and out. Noticing the way your diaphragm moves just below your sternum as your lungs intake and release air. Envisage yourself standing inside a room with a door that leads outside ahead of you. Pull a key from your pocket to unlock it. Turn the latch and step outside. In front of you is a colourful autumn landscape with hundreds of trees with leaves in brilliant reds and golds. Some are green, not yet changed, while others have become crisp and brown on the edges. A little further ahead, water babbles down a shallow stream, only a foot or so deep in the deepest part. You can see the stones and sediments that the water travels over. Leaves that have floated down into it collect on the edges where the water ripples towards shore, creating a golden lining on either side. You sit on a perfectly sized sitting rock on the edge, comfortable and content as the water runs by. Breathe in the crisp autumn air, filling your lungs with the scent of water leaves, and the grasses that are yellowing around you. Feel the warmth of the afternoon sun on your face. The heat of the summer is gone, and in its place is this wonderful, pleasant day, just warm enough for comfort and cool enough to invigorate. As the breeze blows around you, notice the way that it coaxes leaves to let go of their branches, to float to the ground below. Some take a more direct path, while others drift and sway in the wind, spinning and twirling as they make their way down. Others still do not fall at all, but rather continue to hold on to the branches they grew from, refusing to take flight. They have allowed themselves to change colours alongside their fellows, but refuse to give in to the descent ahead. Just a little longer, they protest to the breeze. We're not ready yet to fall. So they hold on a little longer, even as the world changes around them. The yellows become orange, the oranges red, and the leaves on the ground become brown. But still the leaves on the trees hold on, hoping to evade the relentless movement of time. Visualize the changing world of fall around you as you continue to breathe crisp autumn air, in and out, leaning into this moment. As you breathe in and out, bring to mind something that you have been holding on to, something that no longer serves you, that you would like to let go of, but have not done so yet. Imagine this thing as a leaf on a tree, clinging to a branch high above the ground, refusing to give in to the change of the season. Once it had a place in your life, as every leaf has a place in a tree. It might even be a blossom that you cherished in the spring of its existence, that you had watched unfurl and grow, and that has now exchanged its green for gold. This leaf is not a bad leaf. This thing is not a bad thing. And yet the time has come for it to fall from the branch. The time has come for you to let it go. Take a deep breath, the deepest breath you have taken thus far, and visualize the leaf letting go. It releases the branch and drifts gently to join the other leaves of red and gold below. Just like the leaf has not entirely disappeared, neither has the thing you are letting go of. It has just joined all the other things that you have grown with and learned from and are now ready to let go of. For a moment longer, enjoy the autumn world around you, experiencing again the warmth of the sun, the chill of the breeze, and the distinct scent of leaves and earth. When you are ready, leave the side of the river and return to the door you entered this world through. Step back inside, taking care to pull the key from your pocket to lock the door once more. This door is always available to you. You can always return to the autumn world by the river, with the trees of red and gold. The key will always be in your pocket. Return your focus to your breath, breathing in and out, in and out, soft and slow, experiencing the way your lungs also release the old to bring in the new. So I'll leave you for the next few moments in silence before bringing you back into the room. And start to bring your awareness back into the room, noticing sounds around you. Reconnecting with your external world. Start to bring a little bit of movement into your body by wiggling your fingers and toes. And maybe giving yourself a nice big stretch all the way from the tips of your fingers, the arms overhead, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Stretching this way and that, doing whatever feels right for you, waking up the body. And then drawing the knees in towards the body, giving yourself a final hug. And then rolling over onto your right side, placing your underarm as a pillow. No need to rush. Just completely let go. Take a couple of breaths here. And in your own time, you can slowly push yourself up into a seated position with your eyes gently closed. Maybe we want to place our hands together in prayer position to create a bit of warmth and friction in our hands and in our body. We've been lying still for a while. And with this warmth and friction, place the hands over the eyes. If you've got glasses on, you remove the glasses. Feel the warmth behind your hands. You can gently flutter the eyelashes open behind your hands. And remove the hands and bow and give a lovely smile. And as I say, thank you very much for joining me and for sharing this practice and this space. I wish you a very good day. Namaste. Thank you.